Well, it's a beautiful fall day, even though it's a little bit cloudy here. I am just now driving up the trail here onto, or towards, I should say, the Robbins branch trailhead of the Birkhead Mountain Wilderness in the Uwharrie National Forest in central North Carolina. I will get back with you when I Well, here's where I am, Uwharrie National Forest, Birkhead Mountains Wilderness at the Robbins Branch Trailhead. I am down there, and my plan is to go down along Hannah's Creek Trail for a ways and find a spot there. Not going to go too far. I'm walking along here, along Hannah's Creek Trail in the Birkhead Mountain Wilderness, and it's a fairly quiet morning. A couple of gunshots out already. It is about the start of deer season locally, and people can hunt on public lands. I think it may start tomorrow, might be today, not completely sure. But anyway, it is nevertheless a beautiful day to be out here. All right, I'm at the intersection of Robbins Branch and the Hannah's Creek Trail. And as you can see, well, you may not be able to see, I'm going to head this way, which is a lovely looking trail to get down. And I'll cross over a little creek here before too long. It won't be long before I begin to make choices about potential campsites. Sometimes in these old mountains, you get glimpses of ridges over there. They're worn down, but they still feel like mountains. Well, there you have my view from underneath my Kelty Noah's Tarp 9. I brought an extra tarp on this trip because I knew it was going to rain, and it just makes sense to have a base of operations if you're going to be out in the rain, and especially the temperatures are going to be dropping into the 30s at night. And yeah, so I'll flip it around and show you kind of where I am relative to where that is. Hey friends, Bittenbrook here. It is 1:17. I'm in camp and I am set up now. And I didn't do a lot of filming obviously while I was doing that because it's been raining and I didn't want to get my gear wet. But I'll spin it around and show you a little bit about what I've done. As I said before, my Kelty Noah's Tarp 9 is set up kind of near a fire pit, and I'm sitting in a chair. It's nice and dry. I got my pack beside me, also dry, and got some firewood. Probably go find some more firewood, particularly if it's going to get cold. I have not taken my underquilt and all that kind of stuff over to my hammock yet. But anyway, let me show you around a bit. All right, there is my hammock set up. Tonight, I've got a Dutchware, I think it's just, I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, it's a camo hammock. Underneath my hammock gear, Journey tarp. It's a 12-foot Journey tarp, poly, sil poly, not sil nylon. Super lightweight, super slippery, very hard to kind of fold neatly because of that. Those are thermarest straps that I have hanging down from the trees. Just decided to bring those along since I was using this hammock. I have some spider webbing for my other hammock, which is my Warbonnet XLC. But I don't need a bug net or anything like that tonight, so I just thought I'd go with this. We'll see how it works. All right, you spin back here. Orient you under the tarp. This is an old chimney from a homestead that was here many years ago. And this is the sizable fire pit that is right here as well. Let me turn around. You can see my pack. It's a Gregory Optic 58. My gloves, you can make out my saw right there. Just some food bag. My chair, REI Flex Light with my Thermarest Z sit pad. That's just for extra insulation and comfort. My Tilly hat. I don't make that hat anymore. It's great. It's waterproof. It has got a vent in the back. And then the bag under it is a rather inexpensive 20-liter outdoor products dry bag that I have all my camera gear in. And some of the wood that I've started collecting in between. It is hunting season, so I am flying a little banner here just for a little bit of extra attention in case a hunter comes through this area. All right, we're waiting on a little bit of a boil here. Then I'm going to put in 2 bags and let them simmer. I'll show you what I mean. All right, we are currently in the process of boiling these. We got to boil them for about 5 minutes to heat up the food that is inside of them. Then I'm going to kind of mix and match a little basmati rice with some chana, which is a Indian chickpea dish. I am ready for a little bit of warmth and a little bit of energy to fight off dropping temperatures here. That's a warming kind of look there. Bubble, bubble, bubble. Nothing like the rain on a tarp. All right, these are the delicious chickpeas. They don't look that delicious, do they? Well, they are. This is chana Indian chickpeas with basmati rice. Oh, it's heavenly, or jasmine rice. Really, really good. Ooh, I know it is terribly flattering to have these wings, but my R1 hoodie feels awfully good right now. Just getting a little bit of the, the damp air off the back of your neck is really kind of nice. So I haven't been doing a whole lot. I may do a little bit of walking here in a little while before dinner. I've just been, kind of relaxing, dozing a little bit by the fire, even nodding off. I'm tired. It's rainy and cold. 43 degrees Fahrenheit, I think is what the temperature is. Not super cold, but cold enough if you get wet. And I think it's supposed to drop into the lower 30s tonight. So we will see. It'll make dinner taste really good, a hot dinner, and it'll make breakfast tomorrow really good. I do have a lunch that I can also eat as well. So I can stay out a good bit of time, or if I'm tired or worn out, I can head back. We'll see. But pretty laid back. Lots of gunshots. I think this is the first weekend of official weekend of hunting and whitetail deer. A lot of people are out. Whether they are actually hunting or just shooting their firearms, I do not know. But it's kind of cooled off. I mean, the sounds. I haven't heard one in a while. Got a little bit of a breeze picking up here. You can hear it in these old mountains coming up, along the creek bed. We're coming over a ridge. Could be rain too, I'll have to see. Now I see the wind. Yeah, this wind is coming this way. All right, I ramble. It's the sort of day that makes one really appreciate a nice hot fire. Even a small one like this is putting out enough heat, and it's easy to maintain for me without too much exertion, and it's just delightful. Okay, let me just show you my whole camp setup. I haven't really shown you the long view here. You can see I have a tarp kind of strung up over here with my fire. Got my chair, got my little cooking section over there just beyond. This isn't permanent, this is just kind of where things are right now. And then relative to where that tarp is, you can see my hammock. I have put my 20-degree incubator hammock gear underquilt on, and I have my other insulation inside but not taken out yet. What I'm going to do right now is head down to the creek. So let me take you along that way. It's been a long time since I've been down to this particular creek, maybe a year or two. It's another little side over here. I think this area in general kind of gets used a lot by Boy Scouts. And you can see there's a little woodland trail here. There is a closer path to water just down off the main thing. It's not far at the bottom of a creek, a hill. This is a longer sojourn, as you can doubtless see. And I think it even gets a little marshy at one point. But there is, whoa, that is a purple leaf. It is, there's a campsite down here somewhere too. Yeah. Here it opens up. Bit of a fire pit. And there's my water. All right, it's pretty here. So I need to find a way down and fill up my water. That's next. Well, we got a little bit more of a breeze at this hour of the day. And as you can see, a little bit more flames. The daylight is fading fairly quickly. The last light will happen in about 35 minutes. And I'm beginning to think about whether or not I want to cook dinner sooner or later. I'll have to see how the temperature drops and how I'm feeling, since I had a kind of a late lunch and a big lunch. It was a good lunch though. So more fire time. But this is my sleep system for tonight. It's a Thermarest Chorus HD quilt with a Thermarest Space Cowboy 45 sleeping bag inside. It is a mummy bag and Sierra Designs down pillow with my incubator underquilt here, as you can see. Sorry, that's not better. Oh. Now that is a sight for sore eyes. But the wind has shifted, and as it has shifted, it has caused issues. The smoke is blowing in my eyes, so I'm going to have to move outside the tarp, I think. Yeah. I'll move it around and shift it. All right, well, with light going down, let me just kind of show you where we are. This is probably sucking in more light than really is out here. But it's fairly close. It's fairly close, actually. I'll take that back. I do have my headlamp on as well, though. In any case, the wind is picking up a little bit, and I think that may be blowing in more rain for the morning. We'll see. I'm going to, I think, start on dinner. Well, I don't know if you can see this, but tonight's dinner is going to be chili mac, which I'm excited about. And I happen to have brought along an extra packet of hot sauce. I'm also excited about that because it's kind of chilly out here and it's only going to get colder. So I'm going to start boiling some water for my chili mac. One of my favorite things is to watch a pot boil water over an open fire. I can hear the pot, the metal expanding, the titanium in this pot. Brought a bigger one with me this trip because I wanted to be able to boil water if I had to. If the temperature does go below freezing tonight, I will not be able to use my water filter. And that means I'll need to be able to put water into this pot and boil it and purify it that way for drinking. And when you're doing something like that, a little 750 milliliter cup just doesn't cut it. So this is I think this is a liter pot. And it's got a lot of nice features on it. It's got not drain holes, but it's got the steam holes in the top. It's got little side handles, which you can see there. Those are in basically pouring position, so you can pour it. It does have a pouring spout on the far side. And then it has a really nice bail with a little bend in it there that you can hook on a Burtonsville rig or something like that if you wish. Nothing like staring into a fire as it begins to die down into coals. It's beautiful. Well, I may show you a quick picture of my chili mac when it is ready, and I may say goodnight to you from my hammock in a little while. But I'm not going to do much more filming tonight. It's obviously dark, it's pitch black out, and that's why I'm staring into the fire. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment of truth. Pardon me. Oh yeah, look at that. That looks sensational. All right, friends, I'm going to dine. Well, good morning. It is a little after 6. I had a pretty uneventful night. Went to bed about 8 actually, because I was tired and it was dark and rainy. Woke up about 10:30. A Boy Scout troop arrived at the campsite. I guess they were hoping to camp here, and very quickly disappeared into the night somewhere else. There are lots of campsites around, so I wasn't worried about them. About 3 a.m. I woke up again, this time because the gusts of wind had increased. And that's one worry I do have here in the Uaris is the wind. Lots of trees go down. But I'm going to get up. I'm going to have breakfast and coffee and see what the new day looks like with the wind and everything else. Nice thing is I think the wind dried off all my tarps. Well, good morning. I have a little fire going here, as much for atmosphere and a little bit of warmth as for potential for cooking. I will probably cook up a Spam single with this fire. But I am just now getting going. It is now 7 o'clock in the morning, and wind is coming through in gusts. I think there's a chance for rain to pick back up a little bit later this morning. And I think I want to try to strike my tarps while they're still dry before that rain moves back in. So got to play that by ear. And then also, stupidly, I forgot my charging cable for my camera again. I do have other cameras, but I'm trying to shoot in 4K, and I don't have another cable for my 4K camera. It's my phone camera is what I'm experimenting with on this trip, and I usually have it, and I just forgot. So reminder just popped up, 24% chance of rain starting at 11. So I have some time to play. Alrighty, there we have our breakfast skillet. Saved a little weight this morning by skipping the tortillas, and I'm just going to eat that up. Over here, I've got my coffee. Today it's just Starbucks Via. Still working on finding a better coffee. Fire has died down a bit, and that's okay. So as I look at it, I will be hopefully finishing packing up. I've already taken all the insulating layers and packed them out of my hammock, taken down the tarp, packed it. I need to pack the hammock itself, strike the tarp that's above me, and just kind of repack things. But I'm not in a hurry. If the weather holds, then I should have until around 11 before it starts to rain. I'm hoping to be back at the trailhead before 11. If I get out of here by 10:30, that should be easily doable. So I'm just going to enjoy my breakfast and enjoy my morning in the woods, which is the whole reason I came out here. Just waking up out here last night when I had that cold wind blowing across my face, and I was just warm as a bug in all my cocoon of down that was absolute heaven. And that's one of the reasons I come out here, is a big part of it. Just that sense of well-being and comfort of doing things on your own, of the rituals of fire building and boiling water and collecting water and all those things. So it's awesome. Thanks for coming along. It's a blustery morning today. Hopefully you can hear the wind and see it. This is the mood this morning where I am. I'm camped kind of just below a ridge. You can kind of see the ridge over here. Little hill that goes up. And I have, of course, the creek down this way. So anyway, I've begun packing up over here. I'm still kind of eating. I'm drying my pot out over here by the stove so I can repack what was inside of it. And I'll get back to you. It was a good overnighter, quick. But I got here yesterday morning and stayed, just kind of hanging out. And that's exactly what I needed to do. This morning I got up, I ate breakfast, I packed, and I just listened to the wind in the trees. And sometimes that's what you have to do to get to get recharged. So I am on my way back to my car at the trailhead, my truck, and if anything happens, I'll let you know. If not, I'll see you at the trailhead. All right, I've just crossed Robbins Branch, which is the last creek I crossed before the trailhead, and it leads to an uphill that for Uwharrie standards is fairly steep. I don't know how many feet it gains. Naturally on camera, you can't tell. Maybe you can from my slightly labored breathing. My apologies if there's wind noise. I've switched to my phone microphone from my Rode Video Micro, so it doesn't have any buffer against the wind, but that's because of the potential for rain. Well, if you look up, maybe you can tell. Anyway, we are ascending. Shortly, we'll hit a little plateau, do some curves, and come back down to the parking lot. The Uwharrie trail maintainers do a really nice job here. These water breaks, things like that, to try to preserve the trail. Very nice. Thank you all. All right, I'll focus on the climb and not talking. Well, I made it back to the trailhead. Here's the thing. Yesterday, there was one other car in the trailhead with me. And today, hey friends, I'm back at the trailhead, back in my truck, and about to head home. It's been a good overnighter. Getting a little bit windy now, and possibility of rain moving in, maybe over an inch of rain. And there are lots of hunters out now in this area. So basically, I hit the right time, the sweet spot, if you will, for hiking. The scout troop that came by last night probably had 10, 12 people in it, lots of flashlights, stuff like that. So I think I was fortunate to get away and do what I needed to on a Friday instead of come down on a Saturday. With all these vehicles and stuff like that are out here, that would have been a disaster for me anyway. I like my solitude in the wilderness. But this wraps up this quick little overnighter. I appreciate you all coming along. I'd be interested in any thoughts, suggestions, ideas you have for trips or things to show on these little quick jaunts that I take from time to time. Like I said, I appreciate you watching. So I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Ben Brook out. Yeehaw! What can I say? Thank you all for coming along for the ride. Gets a little bumpy on this part. We got to get back to civilization, unfortunately. Not my favorite thing, but if I didn't go back to civilization, I wouldn't appreciate the opportunity to come back to nature whenever I get the chance. And this is the first time I've had the chance in probably about 5 months since my 77-mile through hike this summer. So it feels good to get back out here. Oh, get a little more. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, woohoo! Good way to test the shocks on your truck. All right. Thank you all again for coming along. I appreciate it. Hope you've enjoyed the view here of a late fall in central North Carolina and my little trip here. Whoa. And my crazy curvy bumpy road here. This is what you got when you got wilderness access, though. And I'm glad it keeps it a little bit less crowded usually, except when you have the first day of deer season with firearms. Well, not black powder firearms anyway. So, it is beautiful. Thank you all for coming.